They conquered Egypt, ruled as pharaohs, and then history tried to forget them. This is the incredible story of the Black Pharaohs of Kush.
What if everything you thought you knew about ancient Egypt was incomplete? For centuries, one powerful dynasty was almost erased from history. A dynasty of African kings who conquered Egypt itself. They marched north and seized the throne of the pharaohs. And what happened next changed history forever.
Stay until the end, because their greatest secret is still hidden beneath the sands. If you love forgotten history, subscribe now and join thousands uncovering the world's lost civilizations. Our story begins south of Egypt, in a land known as Nubia. Today, this region lies mostly within modern Sudan.
The land was rich with gold, and wealth flowed through its trade routes. Egypt and Nubia traded for centuries, but they also fought many wars. At times, Egypt ruled Nubia.
But Nubia would not remain under foreign control forever. Freed from Egyptian rule, Nubia began rebuilding its strength. Over time, a new power emerged, the Kingdom of Kush. Its first great capital was the sacred city of Napata. Religion played a central role in Kushite society.
The Kushites worshipped Amun, the same powerful god revered in Egypt. Skilled craftsmen transformed gold into breathtaking treasures. Gold from Kush flowed across Africa and beyond. Trade brought wealth, influence, and international connections. That wealth helped equip a formidable military.
Kushite warriors trained from an early age. They became especially famous for their deadly archers. Soon, Kush possessed one of the region's strongest armies. Meanwhile, Egypt was descending into chaos. Competing kings battled for power. The once mighty kingdom had become deeply divided. The rulers of Kush watched these events carefully. Then, a remarkable leader rose to power. His name was King Piye. Piye believed Egypt had lost its sacred way. He saw himself not as a conqueror, but as a restorer. Before making his move, Piye sought divine guidance. According to inscriptions, he believed the gods supported him. Orders were sent throughout the kingdom. Warriors gathered from across Kush.
Spears were sharpened, bows were strung. An army unlike any seen in generations was forming. Many would never return home. War drums echoed across the Nile Valley. At last, Piye gave the order to march.
In around 750 BC, the Kushite army advanced toward Egypt. They were about to challenge one of history's greatest civilizations, and soon, the throne of the pharaohs would be within their reach. His name was Piye, and he had a dream larger than any king before him. At the time, Egypt was weak and divided. Piye saw an opportunity. He began one of history's most surprising campaigns. Led by King Piye, thousands of Kushite warriors began their historic march into Egypt.
The journey was long, harsh, and filled with danger, but Piye had planned carefully. News of the advancing army spread fear across Egypt. Egypt's divided rulers scrambled to organize a defense. Piye inspired his men with a powerful message. They fought under the protection of a moon. The first cities soon fell. Many surrendered without a fight. Others pledged loyalty to the Kushite king. One by one, Piye extended his control across Egypt. But not every ruler was willing to submit. Several powerful kings united against him. A decisive confrontation was now unavoidable. Kushite archers unleashed devastating attacks. Battle raged across the Nile Valley. Despite fierce resistance, Piye's forces prevailed. One major city refused to surrender. Piye ordered a full siege. Eventually, the defenses collapsed. The road to power was now open. Defeated rulers arrived to offer their submission. The Kingdom of Kush had conquered Egypt. Piye was recognized as Pharaoh of Egypt. He now ruled both Upper and Lower Egypt. His victories were recorded in stone for future generations. Unlike many conquerors, Piye respected Egyptian traditions. He restored neglected temples and religious practices. Ancient sanctuaries once again flourished. Piye believed he was restoring order, not destroying it. Under Kushite rule, Egypt entered a period of renewal. After Piye, other Kushite rulers continued his legacy. For the first time in centuries, Egypt stood united under foreign-born pharaohs. These rulers became known as Egypt's 25th dynasty. Among them, one king would become legendary: Taharqa. Taharqa ruled during the height of Kushite power. He launched ambitious building programs across Egypt and Nubia. Temples were expanded, restored, and beautified. The Black Pharaohs now controlled a vast territory. Trade and wealth flowed throughout the empire. For a brief moment, stability had returned. But peace would not last. Far to the east, a new superpower was preparing for war, and it was marching toward Egypt.
A new threat was rising in the east. This threat came from the mighty Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians were feared across the ancient world. They had conquered kingdom after kingdom. Now Egypt stood in their path. Pharaoh Taharqa knew war was coming. Warnings spread quickly throughout the empire. Armies gathered to defend the Nile. One of history's greatest struggles was about to begin. In 671 BC, the Assyrians invaded Egypt. Brutal battles erupted across the land. Both sides fought with extraordinary determination. Taharqa personally led his warriors. But the Assyrian war machine proved relentless. One city after another fell. The invasion devastated much of Egypt. Eventually, Taharqa was forced to retreat. The Assyrians captured the great city of Memphis. The throne of Egypt had been lost. But Taharqa refused to surrender. He launched a daring attempt to reclaim Egypt. For a brief moment, hope returned. Then overwhelming Assyrian forces struck again. The Black Pharaohs were finally driven from Egypt. Yet the story of Kush was far from over. Back in Nubia, The kingdom remained strong. The Kushite rulers continued to govern independently. Trade once again brought wealth and prosperity. Eventually, power shifted to a new capital, Meroë. Meroë became one of Africa's greatest ancient cities. The city became famous for iron production. Merchants arrived from distant lands. Powerful queens, known as kandakes, also rose to prominence. Some would even challenge the mighty Roman Empire. Meanwhile, the Kushites continued building pyramids. In fact, they built more pyramids than Egypt itself. Over the centuries, the kingdom gradually faded. Its cities were eventually abandoned, and much of its history was forgotten. For generations, the Black Pharaohs received little attention. But archaeology is changing that. Remarkable discoveries continue to reveal their story. Each artifact offers a glimpse into a forgotten civilization. Today, the pyramids of Nubia still stand proudly in Sudan, silent witnesses to a remarkable past. The Black Pharaohs conquered Egypt, defended an empire, and shaped history. Their legacy was never truly erased. It was simply buried beneath the sands, waiting to be rediscovered.
History holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Welcome to the Circuit of Century. Smash that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications.